God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. I will step back and let Him lead the way. I will step back and let Him lead the way. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. I walk with God in perfect holiness. I walk with God in perfect holiness. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. And then we've got review 155 and 156 today. This is all in lesson 173. I will step back and let Him lead the way. God is but love, and therefore so am I. I walk with God in perfect holiness, in sacred wholeness, in oneness. I walk with God in perfect holiness. God is but love, and therefore so am I. I'm Forgiveness Willie, teaching forgiveness from the Ozarks. I hope that you're learning to forgive everybody for everything all the time. Every thought that isn't in harmony with heaven is something to forgive, to let go of. To let go of is an illusion, and only accept the truth. We're reading from the Foundation for Inner Peace version of A Course in Miracles this year. And we're ready for, like I said, or lesson 173, which is for Sunday, June the 22nd of 2025. And, he doesn't tell us specifically how much time to spend on your lessons, but carrying over from before lesson 5 review, we understand that we're supposed to take anywhere from 5 or more minutes, morning and evening, for your longer practice period. I would recommend 15, but 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes or longer even, every morning and every evening. And then throughout the day, an hourly remembrance and an asking God for guidance and for help and give Him thanks. So those are what, and bring your memory up, bring your thought up to memory again. God is but love, and therefore so am I. I will step back and let God lead the way. God is but love, and therefore so are you. So am I. I walk with God in the atonement, in the at-one-ment, in perfect wholeness, in perfect holiness. I walk with God in perfect holiness. God is but love, and therefore so am I. Okay, let's see. That's our lesson for today. So let's go jump into our text reading. And we're ready for, and we're in chapter 18, the passing of the dream. Roman numeral 8, the little garden. The little garden. I'm out here in my garden. I'm in front of my Ficus corica, the hardy Chicago fig behind me, and the Celeste fig over here beside me. And there's another little start one right there coming up, right there, I think. Oh, right there is another. I tell you how I started that thing. This Celeste fig over here had a branch that was leaning down quite a bit, so I just dug a little hole bent the branch on a little further down, put dirt back over it, and put a rock on it to hold it down, and let it grow that way for, I don't know, a month or two last summer. And then when fall came, I cut it off from the mother plant, put it in a pot, took it in the house, and it's been growing ever since. So it didn't go through the winter outside. Then I planted it here this spring. Okay, so that's your figs. The little garden, since we're in the garden, talking about gardening. And of course I planted spinach around the base of these, so it's a little late for spinach, but you know what, I like spinach and I needed some, so we'll see how it does in the warmer climate, in the warmer part of the year, for sprouting and growing and not bolting and being able to eat it as young greens, which is when I like it anyway. The little garden. It is only the awareness of the body that makes love seem limited. It is only the awareness of the body that makes love seem limited. For the body is a limit on love. The belief in limited love was its origin, and it was made to limit the unlimited. Think not that this is merely allegorical, for it was made to limit you. Can you who see yourself within a body know yourself as an idea? Everything you recognize, you identify with externals, something outside itself. You cannot even think of God without a body, or in some form you think you recognize. We mentioned the other day that, what was it, yesterday or the day before was Atheist Solidarity Day, or I think it's something like that. Any idea of partnering with other atheists. And if you're basically saying that you don't believe that God is in a body, he's anthropomorphic, you're probably more accurate than those who claim that God is a bearded figure, old wise man in the sky. That's probably not a real good concept of God. If it helps you to think of God as a kind father and you picture him that way, there's nothing wrong with that. But allow for there to be a place in your heart for those that don't see it that way. And they may call themselves atheists, but they may just be revolting against that form, that image of God. Anyway, and he's explaining that you cannot even think of God without a body or in some form you think you recognize. And he's kind of saying that in a sarcastic way, like, let's say, wake up here, bros. Paragraph 2. The body cannot know. And while you limit your awareness to its tiny senses, you will not see the grandeur that surrounds you. God cannot come into a body, nor can you join him there. Limits on love will always seem to shut him out and keep you apart from him. The body is a tiny fence around The body is a tiny fence around a little part of a glorious and complete idea. You're the idea. It draws a circle infinitely small around a very little segment of heaven, splintered from the whole, proclaiming that within it is your kingdom, where God can enter not. Paragraph 3. Within the kingdom the ego rules, and cruelly. And to defend this little speck of dust, it bids you fight against the universe. This fragment of your mind is such a tiny part of it that could you but appreciate the whole, you would see instantly that it is like the smallest sunbeam to the sun, or like the faintest ripple on the surface of the ocean. In its amazing arrogance, this tiny sunbeam has decided it is the sun. This almost imperceptible ripple hails itself as the ocean. Think how alone and frightened is this little thought, this infinitesimal illusion, holding itself apart against the universe. The sun becomes the sunbeam's enemy that would devour it, and the ocean terrifies the little ripple and wants to swallow it. Yet neither sun nor ocean is even aware of all this strange and meaningless activity. They merely continue, unaware that they are feared and hated by a tiny segment of themselves. Even that segment is not lost to them, for it could not survive apart from them. And what it thinks it is no way, and what it thinks it is in no way changes its total dependence on them for its being. Its whole existence still remains in them. Without the sunbeam would be gone. The ripple without the ocean is inconceivable. Such is the strange position in which those in a world inhabited by bodies seem to be. Each body seems to house a separate mind, a disconnected thought, living alone and in no way joining to the thought by which it was created. Now, try to get a sense of this, what he's trying to say, that you're an idea. You're a thought of God and not a body. So each body seems to house a separate mind, a disconnected thought, living alone and in no way joined to the thought by which it was created. Each tiny fragment seems to be self-contained, needing another for some things, but by no means totally dependent on its one creator for everything, needing the whole to give it any meaning, for by itself it does mean nothing, nor has it any life apart and by itself. Paragraph 6. Like to the sun and ocean, yourself continues, unmindful that this tiny part regards itself as you. It is not missing. It could not exist if it were separate, nor would the whole be whole without it. It is not a separate kingdom ruled by an idea of separation from the rest, nor does a fence surround it, preventing it from joining with the rest and keeping it apart from its creator. This little aspect is no different from the whole, being continuous with it and at one with it. It leads no separate life, because its life is the oneness in which its being was created. Paragraph 7. Do not accept this little fenced-off aspect as yourself. Do not accept this little fenced-off aspect as yourself. You're talking about the body. You're fenced in, thinking that the skin is your fence, that contains you, your identity, your body. And he says, do not accept this little fenced-off aspect as yourself. The sun and ocean are as nothing beside what you are. The sunbeam sparkles only in the sunlight, and the ripple dances as it rests upon the ocean. Yet in neither sun nor ocean is the power that rests in you. Whoa. Would you remain within your tiny kingdom, a sorry king, a bitter ruler of all that he surveys, who looks on nothing, yet who would still die to defend it? This little self is not your kingdom. Arched high above it and surrounding it with love is the glorious whole, which offers all its happiness and deep content to every part. The little aspect that you think you set apart is no exception. Paragraph 8. Love knows no bodies and reaches to everything created like itself. Its total lack of limit is its meaning. It is completely impartial in its giving, encompassing only to preserve and keep complete what it would give. Again on those two. Love knows no bodies and reaches to everything created like itself. Its total lack of limit is its meaning. It is completely impartial in its giving, encompassing only to preserve and keep complete what it would give. In your tiny kingdom, you have so little. Should it not then be there that you would call on love to enter? Look at the desert, dry and unproductive, scorched and joyless, that makes up your little kingdom, and realize the life and joy that love would bring to it from where it comes and where it would return with you. Paragraph 9. The thought of God surrounds your little kingdom, waiting at the barrier you built to come inside and shine upon the barren ground. See how life springs up everywhere. The desert becomes a garden, deep and green and quiet, offering rest to those who lost their way and wander in the dust. The thought of God surrounds your little kingdom, waiting at the barrier you built to come inside and shine upon the barren ground. See how life springs up everywhere? The desert becomes a garden, green and deep and quiet, offering rest to those who lost their way and wander in the dust. Give them a place of refuge, prepared by love for them where once a desert was. And everyone you welcome will bring love with him from heaven for you. They enter one by one into this holy place, but they will not depart as they had come, alone. The love they brought with them will stay with them, as it will stay with you. And under its beneficence, your little garden will expand and reach out to everyone who thirsts for living water, but has grown too weary to go on alone. Paragraph 10. Go out and find them, for they bring yourself with them, and lead them gently to your quiet garden, and receive their blessing there. So will it grow and sketch across the desert, leaving no lonely little kingdom locked away from love, and leaving you inside. And you will recognize yourself and see your little garden gently transformed into the kingdom of heaven, with all the love of its Creator shining upon it. Remember, you're part of the ocean. You're part of the sun. You're not just the sunbeam. You're not just a little ripple on the... You're part of it, and all your brothers will make that part of it too. So welcome them into your garden as part of you. Paragraph 11. Now let's read 10 again. Go out and find them, for they bring yourself with them, and lead them gently to your quiet garden, and receive their blessing there. So will it grow and stretch across the desert, leaving no lonely little kingdoms locked away from love and leaving you inside. And you will recognize yourself and see your little garden gently transformed into the kingdom of heaven, with all the love of its Creator shining upon it. 11. The holy instant is your invitation to love to enter into your bleak and joyless kingdom, and to transform it into a garden of peace and welcome. Love's answer is inevitable. It will come because you came without the body and interpose no barrier to interfere with its glad coming. In the holy instant, you ask of love only what it offers everyone, neither less nor more. Asking for everything, you will receive it, and your shining self will lift the tiny aspect that you tried to hide from heaven straight to heaven. No part of love calls on the whole in vain. No son of God remains outside his fatherhood. Paragraph 12. Be sure of this. Love has entered your special relationship and entered fully at your weak request. You do not recognize that love has come because you have not yet let go of all the barriers you hold against your brother. And you and he will not be able to give love welcome separately. You could no more know God alone than he knows you without your brother. But together, you could no more be unaware of love than love could know you not, or fail to recognize itself in you. In the last paragraph, 13. You have reached the end of an ancient journey, not realizing yet that it is over. You are still worn and tired, and the desert's dust still seems to cloud your eyes and keep you sightless. Yet he whom you welcomed has come to you and would welcome you. He has waited long to give you this. Receive it now of him, for he would have you know him. Only a little wall of dust still stands between you and your brother. Blow it lightly, and with happy laughter it will fall away and walk into the garden love has prepared for both of you. Only a little bit of dust Only a little wall of dust still stands between you and your brother. Blow on it lightly, and with happy laughter it will fall away and walk into the garden love has prepared for both of you. God is but love, and therefore so am I. I will step back and let him lead the way. God is but love, and therefore so am I. I walk with God in perfect holiness. God is but love, and therefore so am I. Okay, let's see what's going on around the world today as far as holidays and I found these on holidays and observances. And American Kids Day, HVAC Tech Day, and another way to have some HVAC relief is mentally. In other words, realize that when you're starting to sweat and you're hot, that doesn't have to be a bad thing. That can be like, wow, this is like I'm going to sauna. This is an opportunity to sweat some toxins out. Enjoy the heat is what I'm trying to say. Enjoy it. Seek a little refuge if it gets too much. Get wet. It's always a quick way. That's how our brothers and sisters in the past all did it. They'd go take a swim or get in the water and then cool off. I used to, when I was a kid, I was first early married, we were living in a travel trailer, and it was pretty hot in there, and it was parked out in the sun. And we found that if you just go take a shower, cold shower, but just a shower, and then make sure that you put a t-shirt on wet, or either wet or just put it on when your body's wet so that it got a little water on it. You could then get to sleep with a t-shirt on that was cool, and with the window open, whatever. HVAC Tech Day. Anyway, for those of you techs that fix ACs, here's your day. First beginning of summer here. It's a stupid guy thing. And World Rainforest Day. Talk about humid, wet environments, or hot environments, rainforests in the summer, or all year long, I guess. Most of those areas are in the tropics, rainforests. And then out of edible landscaping, we've got the Meader American Persimmon, and it's a Diospyros virginiana. And it says the Meader American Persimmon, very early ripening, about September through November at the nursery in Virginia. Extremely cold hardy, originally from Rochester, New Hampshire. Self-fertile, some fruits seedless, Native American variety, pumpkin orange colored. Fruits are 1.5 to 2 inches in diameter, spaced 10 to 12 foot circles, zones 4 through 8. Okay, there's your Meader American Persimmon. And then our word for peace today we're going to take from our French brothers and sisters. And the word is Paix, or Paix, spelled P-A-I-X, but it's pronounced Paix. And just a little geography on, did you know that France borders the Mediterranean, the Atlantic, the North Sea, and the English Channel, as well as there's some big rivers in France. The most common ones are the Seine, and I'm not sure I'm pronouncing these right. Is it the Seine or the Seine? The Loire, the Garonne, the Rhone, the Rhine. Anyway, there's some big rivers in France. So to our French brothers and sisters, we say, Paix be with you, peace be with you. Paix. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. I will step back and let him lead the way. I will step back therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. I walk with God in perfect holiness. I walk with God in perfect holiness. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. Are we going to step back and let God lead the way today? That's what He's encouraging us to do. Be a little slower to do things. Remember our reading, I need do nothing, yesterday? Well, let's try to do that. Let's try to be quicker at, instead of going to do things, at just utterly forgetting the body. And out of that clean place of wholeness where we blend with the ocean and the sun instead of thinking we're just a sunbeam and a ripple, then we'll know exactly what to do. Without trying to figure anything out, it'll just be shown. God is but love, and therefore so am I. I will step back and let Him lead the way. God is but love, and therefore so am I. I walk with God in perfect holiness. Can't do anything but walk with God in perfect holiness. You might as well be aware of it. God is but love, and therefore so am I. Once again, God is but love, and therefore so am I. That's the overshadowing idea for today. And within that idea, some realities that are true about it is that I will step back and let Him lead the way. And I walk with God in perfect holiness. God is but love, and therefore so am I. Paix.